For years, I was one of 300 million people worldwide trapped in anxiety's grip. Therapist after therapist, technique after technique, nothing worked. Until I stumbled upon a Netflix documentary that changed everything. It was about Phil Stutz, an unconventional therapist whose transformed not just Hollywood stars, but my own relationship with anxiety. Before I dive into Stutz's tools, let me tell you who I am. I am someone who has battled anxiety through my late 20s and early 30s. That constant negative thought loop, yes, I lived it. It got so intense that it pushed me to dive deep into mental health. Research, books, therapy, you name it. I tried everything. Now, I run this channel sharing evidence-based tools and strategies that actually worked for me, hoping they might help others too. Here's the thing about traditional therapy. It's great at helping you understand why you are anxious. I spent countless hours analyzing my past, identifying triggers, and mapping out patterns. But understanding was not enough for me. I needed something more tangible, something I could grab onto when anxiety struck. That is when I discovered Jonah Hill's documentary featuring his therapist, Phil Stutz. And let me tell you, this was not just another person talking about anxiety. This was different. Stutz gave me practical tools to work with. Stutz tools are not your typical think positive technique. What Stutz offers is different. Practical tools that did for me what years of traditional therapy couldn't. And today I'm sharing what Stutz teachings and tools are. Let's start with the three aspects of reality. In order to understand how the tools can be used, Stutz says you need to understand the three aspects of reality that no one can avoid. Those three aspects are pain, uncertainty, and constant work. According to Stutz, the process starts here, accepting the three aspects of reality. Now I know what you are thinking. That sounds pretty grim. But here's the thing, once you accept these aspects, you can start working with them instead of against them. The life force model, along with the three aspects of reality, Stutz says it's fundamental that everyone knows what makes people feel more alive. Stutz believes that we should constantly be working on our life force, which is our most primal relationship with ourselves. If you are sad, depressed, or plagued by negativity, he believes working on your life force will offer immediate benefit. Stutz visualized the life force as a pyramid consisting of three levels: your relationships with your body, sleep, diet, fitness, your relationship with your people, your connection with your friends, family, community, and your relationship with yourself. Activating, for example, your subconscious through writing. If you can master all three, then you will be in alignment with your life force, which will allow you to tap into an abundance of energy and well-being. So, if you are lost, depressed, or feeling stuck, it's important to work on your life force first. Life force model was a practical framework that showed me where to start when I was feeling anxiety. I started to make sure my body is working. I revisited my relationship with my people, my family, my friends, as well as myself. Part X, the villain in your mind. Identify the inner villain in the movie of your life. Stutz wants you to imagine that your life mirrors a movie in which you are the superhero, constantly fighting the villain whose sole goal is to sabotage you. Stutz calls the judgmental, negative side of you, Part X, is an invisible force that wants to keep you from changing or growing. It wants to block your potential. So how do you defeat this inner enemy? Labeling as Part X is the first step to becoming aware that you can fight it. Try this exercise to identify it in your own life. Think of a time in your life when you felt stuck and you were unable to reach an important goal. Ask yourself, what inside of me made it impossible to move forward. It could be vicious self-criticism, incessant worry, or unrelenting negativity. Now, personifying that force and see it as a villain trying to hold you back, you can say that this is part X, this is my enemy. Identifying and labeling it as part X creates space between you and that inner villain. The next time you begin to worry or start to lose your temper, say to yourself, that's part X, and begin to reject it and push it away as though it's the separate entity from your true self. And you can use the tools I'll explain shortly to defeat part X. The next tool is string of pearls. This might be the most powerful tool I have discovered, something I wish I had known years ago. The string of pearls concept completely changed how I view progress in dealing with anxiety. See your daily habits as a string of pearls. Stutz would like to see your daily habits as a string of pearls. Stutz would like to give you a visual. Every day that you are alive, you are making a necklace from a string and pearls. So if you were to draw it, it would be like a line, a circle, then another line, then another circle, and so on. Each circle or pearl represents an action. So one circle equals one action. But here is the catch. Each action has the same value. That means that taking a shower and submitting a book proposal has the same value. It is just an action that you take that propels you forward. Stutz says his identity equals the sum of habits with which he takes action. If there is a failure or a big success, you are going to keep going. I'm the person that puts the next pearl on the string. That's it. Stutz also taught me that each pearl has a dark spot inside, which represents an imperfection. No action will be perfect, but that does not matter. The key is to keep moving forward. Remember, every step forward is still a step forward, regardless of how small or imperfect. Another tool is acknowledging your shadow self. You may be lonely, but you are never alone. What Stutz told me is acknowledging my shadow self. You may be lonely, but you are never alone. Inside each of us is a second self, another being. Building on this idea from Carl Jung, Stutz explains that each of us possesses a shadow self that we can never get rid of. It's part of us that makes us feel ashamed, the part of us we would rather hide. The shadow appears as the sum of total of the weakest, most flawed, inferior, or even disgusting part of ourselves. He says, the only way to keep your shadow from keeping you stuck in the past is to visualize it, honor it, and acknowledge it. Practicing active love. What do you do when someone has wronged you? Do you scream, withdraw, or plot a revenge? You may be justified in your reaction, but Stutz explains ultimately it doesn't matter. Once you reach this state, you are only hurting yourself. Here is the tool he recommends is that close your eyes and imagine whole universe full of infinite love. Now, imagine your heart expanding to absorb all of that love. As your heart contracts back to its normal size, imagine all that love concentrated in the center of your chest. Now, send all of that love from your chest directly to the person who has wronged you. When the love enters the other person, feel it enter their heart as it creates a sense, a oneness with them. Then relax and feel all the energy you gave away return to you. The beauty of this tool is that it doesn't require you to be passive and let people mistreat you. It works to change your inner state, giving you permission to activate inner peace, which is something only you can give to yourself. How these tools changed my life? Unlike my experiences with traditional therapy, these tools gave me something concrete to work with. When anxiety hits, I don't just understand why it's happening, I know what to do about it. I have actual tools to reach for, not just insights to ponder. If you are like I was, tired of understanding your anxiety but not knowing how to handle it, these tools might be what you have been looking for. Among those 300 million people dealing with anxiety worldwide, I know there are many who, like me, have tried traditional therapy but still feel something missing. I'm not saying traditional therapy is bad, it serves its purpose, but if you have been hunting for practical tools like I was, Truth's methods tools might be your missing piece. They were honestly mine. Let me know in the comments if you have had similar experiences with therapy, and if you try these tools, share how they work for you. If you found this helpful, please share it. Because somewhere out there is someone like me, jumping from therapist to therapist, looking for real solutions. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more content about practical mental health tools. Until next time, keep adding those pearls to your string.